Hello, my name is Lindsay, and I'm going to be reading a channeling by Paul Selig called Radical Change. Where you sit now, where you be at this moment, is an opportunity to a new way of being, a new way of perceiving the self beyond the old, beyond the ideas of old, and beyond what you have expected to be. The times you sit in have great choice, great opportunity, and great benefit aligned to them. The times you sit in have great choice. Oh, oops, I just thought. Okay. Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I'm going to be reading a channeling by Paul Selig called Radical Change. Where you sit now, where you be at this moment, is an opportunity to a new way of being, a new way of perceiving the self beyond the old, beyond the ideas of old, and beyond what you have expected to be. The times you sit in have great choice, great opportunity, and great benefit aligned to them. But in order for this to be, you have to agree to the changes that are upon you. The changes that are upon you, one and all, are about a release of an idea born in separation that has been the cause of most pain. All separation is in pain because union with Source does not hold pain as you understand pain. Realization of unity, knowing who and what you are in Source, has requirements attached to it. For the individual, yes, but also for the collective that is undergoing a transition now unlike any it has known. When humanity has decided it is time to move forward, the collective agrees to the circumstances that will support this transition. And the transition you are undergoing is a relinquishing of an idea of what was and what was supposed to be, in order for the new to take its place. Now you understand the new through your ideas of what has been. The neighborhood was once good, now it is not so good. You compare the new to the old. You understand where you sit, where you have been prior. The undergoing of change at the magnitude it is happening now does not hold a precedent as you would like it, and the opportunity it presents consequently is to embrace the new, the unseen, even the unasked for, because the unasked for now holds a promise of a future where union is a potential, and where you sit today amongst the detritus of the past, the historical relics of a culture born in separation can only promise what it has known. The idea of the self as singular, apart from, separate from others, is about to be addressed at a level of transformation that humanity has not known. Now, this is a transition from an idea of selfishness, who I say I should be based on my idea of self, born in agreement to separation, to an agreement to the totality of all, the agreement to all. We are of the same source, in different experience, but of the same source. And the collective agreement to lift beyond the old bias, the old decrees of separation, supports humanity in a new potential. Nothing can and will be claimed until it is first claimed as potential. And the realization of the times you sit in, not fraught in fear, but fraught in promise, in new choice, in new potential, will actually support all of you in aligning to the transition that you are undertaking with a level of ease that has been heretofore unknown by you. What does this mean, he asks. You are so used to dictating circumstance. This is what my life should be, how others should behave, what I should be taught, and what I should be given, that you actually lost sight of the agreement to be and to be receptive to what is truly available, agreeable, and present for you. You have been dictating the terms so swiftly at the cost of others' needs, at the cost of your own growth, that you cannot see the rich table that is being prepared for you. And by you, we mean all of you, humanity itself. The ways you've behaved, the ways you have treated yourselves and your fellows are about to be seen as the cause of your pain. Your idea of injustice is stillborn in a solitary self, and the idea of self as the one in crucible, the idea of self is a mandating justice. But when humanity as a whole has called forth growth and change and directed the circumstance with which it may know itself. Through change, it has begun to agree to a collective act that does not presuppose that what was will be or should be, and you would direct it in your isolated way of knowing the self. What does this mean, he asks. Well, if you understand the premise of the small self, there's nothing wrong with it. It is simply the structure of personality that operates in agreement to the collective system that has been reared in separation. Your total experience on this plane, whether you or not you know it, has been informed by separation. Never once did you wake up in the morning and greet the sun and know yourself as participatory to the sunlight. Never once did you look at your brother and know your brother as yourself, which is realization. The edict of the times you sit in, which seemed so fraught now with separation, is really very simple. Humanity will know itself as one, and this will be the consequence of acts you take in denial of the divine to a degree that you are forced to see the truth. You are forced to know your brother as yourself. Now, this sounds upsetting to some of you, but in fact it is not. It is an opportunity. You have created the catalyst for the level of change that is required from humanity to ensure its safety. You may no longer stay safe, even support your own existence at the level of alignment that you have agreed to thus far. It is not possible. The level of agreement that you have adhered to thus far has claimed you in war. One against the next has claimed famine, has designed a world where some may flourish while others perish. You will not continue this way and survive as a species. And the idea of what the world should be has been the classroom of the personality structure, and consequently, the small self of everyone contributes to it. Where safety is found is on high ground. Now, we use this as a metaphor, the upper room as high ground, because everything is in vibration, which means in tone, everything can be understood in a scale of resonance. The octave you have experienced yourself through at every level, at every time, has been consistent with what has been available to you in the collective agreement to embody on this plane of vibration and learn as best you can through your experiences here. This is how the soul progresses in incarnation in a lower vibrational realm. But now you understand the vibrational field you hold in tandem with this collective field or octave that you are sharing is being transformed. Now we are lifting you in this instruction to what we call the upper room. We are not dragging you there. We are not mandating that you should be there. We are simply offering you a way to align to the higher, where you may know yourself on higher ground for the benefit of all. Humanity itself, carried by a wave of change, will be put on higher ground or in a new level of resonance when this change is over, or this period of change that you have all invoked through the choices to survive. Now, there is nothing deadly here. This is not about cataclysm, as some of you would wish. It is about vast change. And you must not attach yourself to what has been, lest you be moored to the old and find it difficult to rise. When we speak of lifting or rising, we are giving you examples of vibrational agreement. Every song must be sung in a higher octave. And the vibrational field you hold, inclusive of the form that you have taken, may be lifted in tone or vibration to be sung anew, sung into the higher octave that we call the upper room. Now, the upper room is not where you go to hide, to escape some fearful outcome. It is where you arrive in an agreement to the source of all things that is available and can and will be known by all of you. This alignment you hold today, wherever you hear these words, wherever you may sit, is the basis for where you go next. And the agreement to lift to the upper room is the only claim you need. Because once the agreement is present, the alignment may commence at the level of amplitude that you can manage and hold. What does this mean, he asks? Well, you are all in alignment already. And the life that you are living at the personal level is in agreement to the life you have chosen. And by agreement, we mean energetic accord. ACCORD. ACHORD, as on a piano. Now, the collective itself is undergoing change. Because you are of the whole, you are informed by the whole's actions. Everything you see, you are aligned to, and everything you are aligned to, you are in agreement with. And by agreement, again, we mean ACCORD, ACHORD, as on a piano. The tone you emit individually supports one level of alignment because you are of the whole, in agreement to the whole, because you share a sky and you believe to be events or circumstances that impact the whole. The consciousness you hold in alignment to these things inform them and either damns or blesses. To damn something is to put it aside, outside of God, to mask it, to deny the potential that the divine could act upon it or restore it to its true self. To bless something is to realize or know the action of the Creator upon it. Not to make it what you want, but to know the divine where it is present. And the true self, that is you. The one who blesses, that is the one who blesses, can and will claim the divine as all manifestation. Now, because the collective engages in these acts, the denial of the divine or damning of what is seen, which means denying the presence of the divine upon it, is the world you have been partaking in. This world is about to change. And what you have seen thus far has been unsettling or perhaps challenging, is simply the walk down the aisle to a new wedding, an alchemal wedding, where you are in fact reunited with the source of all things. But you don't get there by bypassing or ignoring what you have created and what you have agreed to and what you have been fearful of. As we say, the action of fear is to claim more fear. And everything you see that is frightening to you is asking to be reknown in a higher way. Now, some of you say, I won't condone what I don't like. I won't participate in those acts. But what we are telling you is that the realization of the inherent divine is simply agreeing to what is already so. God must be all things, or present in all things, or can be nowhere. You do not get to decide what is holy and what is not. But you may understand that what has been denied, the light, has grown in shadow and may foster darkness through its own sense of separation. Whatever has been separated from the light must be reconciled to it. This is true at the level of the individual and at the collective level as well. And you are now being asked, everyone born to participate in the change where the outcome is in fact a new world where the divine may be known and experienced and seen by all. Now, what does this mean, he asks. We are not teaching theory nor ideology. We are teaching experience. There is nothing we have taught thus far that cannot be experienced. And in fact, it will be experienced, even by those who have never heard these teachings, because the gift of God or source, or whatever you wish to call it, is that its presence will not be ignored. It will be known, and you will sing within it as of the one great note that has manifested as all manifestations, all things, seen and unseen. Your imaginations take you to new places, a world at peace. What might that be? Heaven on earth. What must that look like? We are not teaching either of those things. We are teaching being at a level of resonance where you are no longer looking to provoking fear, choosing in fear, and denying the divine, which is the cause of your pain. Separation is the cause of your pain. And move to a level of being reunited with the source of all things, or reconciled with it, is to know peace as you be. You become peace. It is your resonant field. And because you are a part of the whole, the expression of your being with the whole supports the whole in a new acclamation, again, through vibrational accord. The teachings we bring through Paul now are beyond the need of the individual to get what he or she thinks she should have. The teachings through Paul now are the requirement of the times to transform and to lift, lest you be caught among the detritus of old, these things that have been shaken and are being carried on this wave of change. You want the world to be what it was 2 years ago, 20, or 100. What you are seeing now is the residual effect of past choice born in separation. the denial of the divine in your brother, the denial of the divine in all things, so that it may be seen. Because unless it is seen, it will not be changed. You have been denying God itself in all you see, and the reality you have chosen to embark upon will no longer agree to this. How do we survive this change? He asks. By agreement that it is change, that you will not go back to what you knew, that what you knew was informed with and riddled with fear, that the choice to be knowing the self beyond those creations requires you to move through them to a state of being where indeed you are reknown and all things may be made new. And that concludes that chapter. Sure opens your eyes, doesn't it? It's everywhere. The separation, the denial. This gives you a lot to think about, doesn't it? That's for sure. See you soon.